Have you ever looked around your home and thought, I just can't keep up anymore? The dishes, the dust, the laundry. It all feels like too much. But here's the truth, no one tells you. You don't have to suffer to have a clean, peaceful home. Whether you're dealing with age, chronic pain, or limited mobility, there are smarter, gentler ways to keep things tidy, without burning yourself out. Today, I'm sharing 11 life-changing cleaning hacks that could lighten your load starting now. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by housework, drop a number 1 in the comments so I know I'm not alone. But some messes aren't about effort. They're about reach. For people with joint pain, back problems, or limited mobility, bending down or stretching up can turn a simple task into a dangerous one. Climbing a step stool to dust a ceiling fan or crouching to scrub the baseboards can lead to accidents, strain, or days of soreness. That's why using cleaning tools with long handles or automated features can be a game changer, because safety should always come first. Let me tell you about Linda, a 74-year-old former librarian living in rural Oregon. She loved keeping her home neat, especially the sunny reading nook by her large front windows. But after a minor fall last year while trying to clean behind her couch, everything changed. Her doctor warned her, no more climbing, no more risky stretching. At first, Linda felt helpless. How could she keep her home the way she liked without hurting herself? That's when she discovered tools made for her needs. She now uses a lightweight, extendable duster that helps her clean window blinds, ceiling corners, and high bookshelves from the safety of the ground. A long-handled mop allows her to clean under furniture without bending down. And for vacuuming, she switched to a cordless model that glides across the floor and maneuvers around tight spaces without heavy lifting. It's like my tools do the hard part, Linda says. I just guide them. These small upgrades gave Linda her independence back and her peace of mind. If you've ever hesitated before bending or stretching to clean something, maybe it's time to try a better tool. Drop a number 2 in the comments if you've had that moment where you thought, there's got to be an easier way. Not every challenge in the home is about cleaning. Sometimes it's about carrying. Even simple tasks like doing the laundry can become overwhelming when they involve lugging heavy baskets through hallways or downstairs. For many older adults, that weight is more than physical. It's emotional too. It turns a necessary chore into something they dread. That's why a folding cart with wheels isn't just a tool. It's a quiet form of freedom. Consider Frank, a 79-year-old Navy veteran living in a small town outside Asheville, North Carolina. For years, Frank insisted on handling all his laundry himself, but arthritis in his knees and shoulders made it harder to carry loads from the bedroom to the washer. The basket would dig into his hands, and on bad days, he'd stop halfway, out of breath, heart pounding. His daughter finally gifted him a folding laundry cart for his birthday. It had large rubber wheels and a sturdy handle that adjusted to his height. I didn't want to admit I needed help, Frank says, but once I used that cart, I realized I wasn't giving in. I was getting smarter. Now, he loads his clothes into the cart, rolls it to the laundry room without strain, and folds everything right on top of it afterward. No more wincing, no more wasted energy, just a simple, smooth process he can do on his own. Small changes like this don't just protect your body. They restore a sense of confidence and control. Have you ever pushed through something painful just because you thought you had to? Drop a number 3 in the comments if you've ever wished for a way to make everyday tasks feel just a little easier. Other times, it's not what we carry, but how we carry it that makes all the difference. Cleaning products are one of those things we often overlook. Big brand bottles promise power, but they don't tell you how heavy they are or how much strength it takes to lift, squeeze, and spray them, especially with sore hands or weakened grip. That's why transferring your cleaners into small, lightweight bottles can quietly transform your entire cleaning routine. Marilyn, a 71-year-old widow from Mesa, Arizona, used to love spring cleaning. But after being diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, simple tasks like spraying the bathroom mirror or wiping the kitchen counter became unexpectedly painful. The spray nozzles were stiff, the bottles bulky, and her hands would cramp halfway through a chore. One afternoon, while reorganizing her pantry, Marilyn found a set of travel-sized spray bottles she'd once bought for a trip. On a whim, she filled one with her favorite all-purpose cleaner. The difference was immediate. The smaller bottle was easy to grip, easy to use, and gentle on her joints. She started keeping one in each main room of the house, bathroom, kitchen, and bedroom, so she wouldn't have to lug anything heavy from place to place. Now, cleaning feels doable again. No more dread, no more sore wrists, just quick, comfortable upkeep that fits into her day instead of taking it over. If you've ever skipped a chore because of a stubborn spray bottle or an aching hand, you're not alone. Drop a number 4 in the comments if you know that even the smallest things can wear us down, and the smallest adjustments can lift us back up. And sometimes, the obstacle isn't strength or pain, it's distance. For people living with limited mobility, even something as simple as throwing away a tissue can become an exhausting effort if the trash can is on the other side of the house. Over time, small messes build up, not because of laziness, but because each extra step carries a cost. That's why placing multiple small trash bins in key locations can make everyday tidiness far more manageable. Dolores, 83, lives alone in a cozy but narrow apartment just outside of Philadelphia. With arthritis in both hips and occasional dizzy spells, walking back and forth to the kitchen trash bin multiple times a day became more than just inconvenient. It was risky. One afternoon, after nearly losing her balance while trying to throw away a used napkin, she realized something needed to change. Her solution? She bought 4 small, lightweight bins, one for the living room, one for the bathroom, one near her bed, and one beside her favorite recliner. Suddenly, tidying up no longer felt like a journey across the house. She could toss small trash immediately, without overthinking or overextending herself. Once or twice a week, she gathers the bags and takes them out all at once. "It sounds silly," she says, "but those little bins made me feel in control again." When the systems in your home support your body, not challenge it, daily life becomes gentler and far more joyful. Have you ever looked at a tiny mess and thought, "It's just not worth the trip right now"? If so, drop a number 5 in the comments. Maybe it's time your home worked a little harder for you. At other times, the burden isn't how far you have to go, but how long you've waited. Dirty dishes have a way of multiplying when we're not looking. What starts as a plate and a fork becomes a full sink. Hardened food clinging to surfaces, turning a quick rinse into a full-blown scrubbing session. For many older adults, this buildup isn't from neglect. It's from fatigue, discomfort, or simply forgetting. That's why rinsing your dishes right after eating can make a quiet but powerful difference. Walter, 77, lives in a duplex in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After losing his wife 3 years ago, mealtime became quieter and lonelier. Dishes piled up, not just from physical tiredness, but emotional heaviness. "I'd eat, then just walk away," he admitted. "I didn't have it in me to stand at that sink again later." But everything shifted when his neighbor suggested a simple trick. Keep a basin of warm, soapy water in the sink while eating. After finishing his meal, Walter drops the used items straight into the basin. Food softens before it has a chance to dry, and when he comes back during a commercial break in his show, the dishes rinse clean with almost no effort. This small change gave him back a sense of rhythm and a reason to care. "It's easier now," he says, "and it reminds me that even little things matter." If you've ever walked away from the table just to avoid the sink, know you're not alone. Drop a number 6 in the comments if you believe a clean home should never come at the cost of your peace of mind. Laundry isn't just about washing clothes. It's about what happens before you ever touch the machine. For many older adults, sorting laundry can be surprisingly draining. Bending over hampers, digging through piles, and trying to separate lights from darks or delicates from towels puts strain on backs, knees, and energy levels. But it doesn't have to be that way. Pre-sorting your laundry with multiple labeled baskets can save time, reduce effort, and make laundry day feel far less overwhelming. Let me introduce you to May, a 75-year-old grandmother living in a modest ranch-style home outside Lubbock, Texas. May still takes pride in clean, fresh laundry, but she was starting to dread the process. Each week, she'd spend nearly half an hour hunched over her bedroom hamper, sorting everything at once before lugging it all to the laundry room. Her back would ache for hours afterward. Then her granddaughter brought over a gift, a 3-bin laundry sorter on wheels. One labeled for whites, one for colors, one for delicates. Now, whenever May undresses or folds laundry, she simply drops each item into the right bin. By the time laundry day arrives, the work is already halfway done. She even elevated the sorter onto a small table, so she never has to bend at all. "This little thing has changed my whole routine," May says with a laugh. "I don't put it off anymore. It's easy now." It's proof that convenience isn't about laziness. It's about living smarter and kinder to yourself. Have you ever put off laundry because the setup was just too much? Drop a number 7 in the comments if you're ready to take the first step toward making laundry easier, before it even begins. Some tasks don't take a lot of time, but they take a surprising toll on your body. Dusting seems harmless, right? But for those living with arthritis or limited mobility, repeated motions and fine motor strain can make it one of the most uncomfortable chores. Add in tools that just move the dust instead of capturing it, and the frustration doubles. That's why switching to microfiber cloths can make a quiet but powerful difference. Geraldine, 80, lives in a quiet senior apartment complex in Sacramento, California. She's always been neat, not obsessive, she says, just tidy enough to feel calm. But lately, she noticed herself putting off dusting. Her old feather duster just scattered particles into the air, and her cotton rags took too much rubbing to get results. Her hands would cramp, her wrists would ache, and her shelves still looked dull. Then a friend from her church group gifted her a set of colorful microfiber cloths. Geraldine was skeptical at first. How could a cloth make that much of a difference? But the first time she used one, she was stunned. The soft, ultra-fine fibers picked up dust in a single swipe. No pressure needed, no sneezing afterward. She even wraps one around a broomstick with a rubber band to reach high corners and fan blades without climbing. "These cloths," she told me, "are like magic, and my hands thank me for it every time." Microfiber isn't just a product. It's a small act of kindness to your body. Have you ever put off cleaning because your tools made it harder than it needed to be? Drop a number 8 in the comments if you're ready to clean smarter, not harder. Sometimes it's not the task itself that wears us down. It's what we're using to get it done. Many store-bought cleaners promise a sparkling finish, but come loaded with strong fumes, harsh chemicals, and heavy bottles that leave behind more discomfort than cleanliness, especially for those with allergies, asthma, or sensitive skin. That's why turning to a gentler, more natural alternative like baking soda isn't just effective, it's empowering. Clifford, 82, lives in a small bungalow near Flagstaff, Arizona, where the dry climate already makes his sinuses sensitive. For years, he avoided cleaning his oven and bathroom tile because the chemical sprays gave him headaches, and scrubbing left him sore and lightheaded. His solution? Go back to basics. Now, he keeps a jar of baking soda by the sink and another in the laundry room. For stovetops and counters, he sprinkles it on a damp cloth, letting it lift grease with ease. For grout, he mixes it with water into a paste, letting it sit before wiping away years of grime, without fumes or elbow grease. He even tosses some into his laundry to soften fabrics and remove odors without using artificial fragrance. It's cheap, it's safe, and it works, Clifford says. I wish I'd started using it 20 years ago. Baking soda may be simple, but its power lies in how kind it is to your health, your wallet, and your energy. Have you ever stepped back from a chore just because the cleaner burned your nose or made your hands itch? Drop a number 9 in the comments if you believe that sometimes the old ways still work best, and feel better doing it. Of course, sometimes the problem isn't cleaning, it's how fast the mess comes back. Few things are more discouraging than wiping down a surface, only to see dust settle again by the next morning. For older adults, repeated tasks like this don't just feel tedious. They eat away at time, energy, and morale. That's why a light coat of dust-repelling spray can go a long way in giving your home that just cleaned feeling, and keeping it that way longer. Eleanor, 79, lives with her cat Jasper in a cozy second-floor condo in St. Paul, Minnesota. She's always been particular about her living room, especially the wood shelves and glass coffee table she inherited from her mother. But arthritis in her shoulders made dusting more frequent than she could handle. At first, she tried wiping every few days, but the effort wore her down. A friend suggested trying a dusting spray, just a light mist on surfaces after each wipe down. Eleanor was skeptical, but gave it a shot. To her surprise, it worked. The spray formed a gentle barrier that slowed down the dust and made each future cleaning session quicker and easier. Now I dust once a week, not 3 times, she says. It's like I'm finally ahead of the mess. She even uses pre-treated dusting wipes on days when she's low on energy. No need for polish, pressure, or stress. Sometimes staying clean isn't about doing more. It's about helping your home stay cleaner longer. If you've ever looked at your shelves and thought, "Didn't I just clean that?" Drop a number 10 in the comments. You deserve a home that stays fresh, without chasing dust all week long. But sometimes the weight we carry isn't physical, it's mental. Looking around a messy home can feel like staring at a mountain you're expected to climb in one day. And for many older adults, that sense of overwhelm is enough to shut everything down before it even begins. That's why breaking tasks into small, manageable chunks throughout the week isn't just helpful, it's essential. Ruth, 81, lives in a small duplex near Charleston, South Carolina. After her hip replacement surgery, her energy levels dipped, and her usual weekend cleaning marathons became impossible. "I'd look at the whole house and feel paralyzed," she admitted. "So I'd do nothing, and then feel worse." Her son suggested a simple system: 1 small task per day. On Mondays, she wipes down the kitchen counters. Tuesdays are for sweeping the porch. Wednesdays? Just dusting the shelves in the hallway. Each task takes 10 to 15 minutes max. And if she's having a bad day, she skips one and catches up later. To her surprise, the house stayed cleaner than ever. More importantly, she no longer felt like she was losing to the mess. "It's like I tricked myself into winning," she laughs. "And it feels good." This strategy doesn't just lighten the workload, it builds momentum. When you succeed a little each day, you build confidence, not pressure. Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by cleaning that you did nothing at all? If that sounds familiar, drop a number 11 in the comments. Let's stop thinking we have to do everything at once and start giving ourselves permission to take it one gentle step at a time. And while breaking big tasks into smaller parts helps, what truly changes everything is consistency. It's easy to think that cleaning has to happen in long, exhausting stretches. But that mindset is what leads to burnout, clutter, and resentment. Instead, building a simple, daily 10-minute cleaning routine can keep your home tidy, without ever feeling like you're cleaning at all. Harold, 78, a retired mechanic living in Milwaukee, spent years tackling his home with bursts of energy followed by weeks of inaction. "I'd wait until things were a mess, then spend hours cleaning and feel wrecked for days," he said. "It was like a cycle I couldn't break." Then one day, during a doctor's visit, his physical therapist offered a surprising bit of advice. Treat cleaning like exercise, little and often. Harold started setting a timer each morning. 10 minutes? No pressure. Some days he vacuumed the hallway. Other days, he wiped the bathroom sink or organized the mail. He didn't aim for perfection, just progress. And over time, something amazing happened. His home stayed clean. Not spotless, not magazine-ready, but peaceful, comfortable, and most importantly, manageable. "I never thought 10 minutes a day could change how I feel in my own home," he said. But it did. The truth is, it's not about how much you clean. It's about how often you show up for yourself. If you've ever believed that cleaning has to be all or nothing, drop a number 12 in the comments. You deserve a home that stays steady, just like you do. You don't have to push through pain to live in a clean, peaceful space. What these stories and tips have shown is simple but powerful. A tidy home doesn't require backbreaking effort, long hours, or harsh chemicals. It just takes small shifts, gentle changes that respect your body, your energy, and your time. Whether it's switching to a long-handled mop, using a dust spray to stretch time between cleanings, or committing to 10 quiet minutes a day, the key is working with your reality, not against it. Every one of us deserves to feel good in our home, and that includes you. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, you don't have to do it all today. Just pick one tip, one adjustment, one act of kindness toward yourself. That's how change begins. Not with pressure, but with care. If this video helped lighten your load or made you feel seen, do me a favor. Like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more practical, heart-centered tips designed for real people just like you. Because you're not alone in this, and you're doing better than you think.